Hey everyone. I will wait 2 more minutes and we will start. Just waiting for others to join. Many registered, so 2 more minutes and we will start. Hmm. Okay, we have a lot to cover, so I hope you all can hear me. So we will start. Hi, my name is Ito Barel. I believe most of you already know me, but I'm the head of customer success here in Fast Simon. And in this webinar today, I'm going to cover everything you need to know on how to use our upsell and cross-sell widgets and how to install them. If you are in Shopify or BigCommerce or Magento, doesn't matter the platform, functionality and installation. This is something that we are going to cover with some best practices. I have with me Ricardo is going to assist me. He's from the CSM team. He's going to assist me. So, in case you have questions or things that you want to know, just type in the chat. We will monitor the chat, and Ricardo will interfere me, and I'll answer any question that you have. So just feel free to type in the chat. I will look at that from time to time and also try to cover everything that you have to know. So feel free to ask me. All right, so let's start. Um, let's start by looking at our upsell and cross-sell widget, which is basically you may also like and all these type of widgets that we install anywhere we want on the website. Our solution contain four different elements in the opening screen of the upsell widgets. The first one is creating widgets. We have an option to create widgets that are based on certain templates, and we are going to review some of the options. So you don't need to prepare anything from scratch. We have templates predefined according to different subject and divided by the locations in which we think they need to be on the website based on existing customers and all of our a lot of users that we have. We have options to include handpick products. So our widget is basically an AI-based widget, which in which we select the product in the widgets from certain collections or using AI to scan images and a lot of different things that we are going to cover. But we also have an option to use manual curation, meaning that you handpick the products that you want to display in those widgets, and we are going to cover those as well. For everything that we have in those widgets, we have merchandising capabilities, so you can create certain rules that you want to follow. Rules can be few examples. I don't want to display sale items on the upsell widget. That's an example of a rule that you can set up and say everything that is on sale, I don't want to display. Maybe another option can be everything that contain a certain tag in Shopify or a custom field in BigCommerce. I don't want to display those products in the upsell widget. Why? Because I don't want to recommend them. Options can be gift cards and a lot of things like that. And we have a section for configuration that I will go deeply in what we have. Basically, configuration for excluding certain products from these widgets. So we can go over those in a minute. All right. So let's start with the library of options that we have, all the widgets that we have. So again, here it's divided according to the location of the widgets that we think that will have better meaning or something that we see that is very popular. So for example, on the homepage, you have a predefined template for new arrivals or personalized top sellers. What does it mean? It means that in the new arrival, for example, I can create a widget on the homepage that will contain automatically all the products that exist in your new arrival collection. So this is like a baseline of the templates that we offer to place it on the homepage. But again, you can take this widget and decide that you want to place it in a different position on the website. It can be in the collection page, it can be in the cart page, it can be anywhere you want on the actual site. And we will get to that in a minute. So here we have a lot of different templates divided into sections. Another example of visual similarity, which we think it's better to place in the product page. Why? Because you are looking at a certain product and you want to see similar items that are based on that product. Now, something to keep in mind, which is very important in those widgets, our solution, it's very, there is a meaning to where you place the widgets when we build and choose the product that we want to display in those widgets. Why? If I'm choosing to place the widget inside a product page, we have our algorithm, our logic will look into the product that you are currently looking at. So imagine that you place the widget inside the product page. We are going to look at the product that currently exists in that product page. And the product that we are going to offer in the upsell widget are going to be based on the product that you are looking at right now. So if I'm talking about visual similarity, we are going to base the product visually looking like the product that you are currently looking at. It doesn't make sense to place visual similarity widget and place it on the homepage because there is no reference to a specific product or a single product that you are looking at right now. So there is a meaning to where you place those widgets inside the site. Another example can be a mini cart. So if you place the widget in the mini cart, our algorithm will know to look at the product that currently exists in the mini cart, and all the merchandising rules and all the algorithm is going to be based on the product that exists inside the mini cart. Okay, so all these templates are available according to the plans that you are using with us. Some of them are not, some of them are. Let's talk about additional stuff. So let's say that you decided to choose one of the templates. What you can do here in this screen, so you click on the previous screen, decide on a specific widget. Now you have a couple of options. First of all, you give it a name. The name here is not something that is going to appear on the actual site. It's just a name to help you identify the widget later on in the analytics tools and things like that. It's very important to give it a name that will be like a meaningful name. So for example, if you place a widget in the product page, it's better to give it a name like a PDP or mini cart or something like that to help you identify. There is a description, placement. Placement is just to identify, to help you understand where you place the widget. Actually, the actual placement of the widget itself on the homepage, it's something that you are going to control yourself. inside Shopify. And excuse me, all the BigCommerce users, if you are using BigCommerce, it's basically the same. I'm just going to, for this presentation, I'm going to use the terminology Shopify because it's simple and it's more common. So so again, so let's say that I choose the placement home page, which is a drop down, and I have all the other choices. I still need to go and install the widget and place it actually in the home page. So, and later on, I will show you how to do it. Here is where you are starting to influence the actual widget design. Here you choose the title. We have a list of drop down of a lot of titles, but you can just type anything you want here, click enter, and this is the title that you are going to see on the website. Any language that you want to use, anything that you want to have here, you can do it. Just type the title that you want to display. Resources. So resources, I'm going to go a bit deeper into those resources, but something important to keep in mind here is this is actually the database in which we choose the product to display on these widgets. There is a primary source and a secondary source, and there can be many secondary sources, actually more than one. The idea here is to make sure that the widgets contain data. So, for example, if I'm going to choose personalized top sellers, I'm going to choose a primary source that's going to make sure that the products are filled by recently viewed item, related recently viewed items. But if I don't have 15 items like that, which is the number of the product that I want to suggest in these widgets, I'm going to fill the remaining slots with product that I'm going to take from a secondary source, which is related top product in this case. And again, I can choose a lot of secondary sources, and each one of them is going to be in use in order to make sure that I fill out all the spots on the widget. Now, there could be situation in which I don't want to use secondary, which makes sense. For example, recently viewed. We have a widget recently viewed showing only the product that the shopper recently viewed on the website. And this is a very individual widget and relevant only to a specific user that is currently using the site. So if I'm in incognito and I'm opening the site and I'm looking at that widget, I will not see any items. Why? Because I didn't see anything on the website before. I'm on an incognito mode. As soon as I start browsing the site and looking at certain products, the widget is going to fill with items that I recently viewed. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to place a secondary source in a recently viewed widget. So it really depends on the type that you want to use, and we give you a lot of flexibility in the sources that you can choose from when you build the widgets. Additional stuff that we have here is product variety. I have a different slide for that, so I'm going to talk about it. Personalization, like all the elements that we have in Fast Simon, we have personalization enabled or disabled for these widgets, meaning that the widgets are going to be influenced by the shopper behavior on the website. So if it's a woman or a man, if you prefer certain sizes or specific colors, our algorithm will be able to identify those things and are going to push into the widgets product that are relevant to your specific behavior. So it's really, really recommended to use personalization when you use upsell and cross-sell widgets. You have an option to choose maximum suggestions. Um, Very straightforward. Display type, we have a couple of display type. Embedded is basically the default one, which is just place the widget inside the page. We have also an option to have a pop-up. So pop-up means that when you go into the website and you go into, for example, a mini cart, you have an option instead of looking at the widget and place it inside the mini cart, you can place it as a pop-up. On the website, it's going to be just a pop-up. So that's another option, not very common, but available. And we also have another option to display, which is a mini cart display, which is a bit different behavior when you choose a mini cart. We are working on and still working on for a long time to create a situation when and mainly, and again, I'm talking about Shopify. A lot of different templates exist in Shopify, and mini cards is a very complex element in Shopify. And there are a lot of different mini cards with a different selectors, different design, different a lot of things. So we are trying to create environments that's going to understand automatically what is the template what is the theme that you are currently using in Shopify, and we are going to identify the theme and are going to build the mini cards widget automatically based on the theme that you are using in Shopify. So mini cart, it's like a different style of widgets. It's not embedded and it's not a pop-up. It's just based on the mini card that exists in the theme in Shopify. Style, I'm going to talk about it later. Basically, we can create, I don't know if you are familiar with or you're not familiar with what we have in Fansign, something called no code editor, which gives you an ability to design the widgets according to your needs. If you want to have two products in a row, three products, the titles you want to add to cart, you don't want to add to cart, and so on and so forth. A lot of different design elements. Each widgets that you create can have a different design. So you have a drop down, you create a design, you save it, and then you can just choose when you create a widget, you can choose what is the design that you want to apply to that widget. Um, and we have a preview. So here on the right side, you have a list of products, and you can choose the product from that list. You can type the product name, or you can choose it from the list and see what are the actual product that we are going to offer for that product that you displayed, just like you place this widget on a product page. So again, remember what I told you before, the widgets are going to look at the product that you are currently reviewing on the product page, and the logic is going to be based on that specific product that you are viewing on the PDP. So exactly the same experience we provide here. Before you even install the widget on the actual site, you have an option to choose, just like you are on the PDP, what are the products that you are going to display. And at the top here, you can see the source that this product belongs to. You are super quiet, and I don't see any questions, and I really hope that you understand everything. So I will continue. Feel free to ask me anything.
Yeah, guys, there are no dumb
Okay.
questions.
Sorry?
I was saying there are no dumb questions, so
Yeah. All right.
feel free
Okay.
to ask.
Okay. Exactly. Feel free to ask. So, as I said before, we have a primary and a fallback. To have a seamless experience, try to provide secondary sources to make those widgets fill with items that are relevant to what you are looking to see on the actual site. Okay, moving forward is the variety. So remember, before we had an option, we had the option here, which was a product variety, this one. what is it for? Not a lot of people know it and use it, but this is something that we provided as a input from a lot of customers. So what we have here, we have basically an option to use to create a variety of items based on a certain attribute. So for example, and the easiest example would be color. So let's say that I have a website that sell shirts, t-shirts, and now I am looking at a red shirt. I want to display, I want to make sure that in the upsell widgets that I place on the product page, I want to display different colors. I don't want to see two colors of the same. I don't want to see two t-shirts with the same color exist on this widget. I want to make sure that there is a variety of colors displayed. So how do I do that? I choose either an attribute and I'm going to say attribute color, use it to create a variety of items. I can use, besides attribute, I can also use a tag with a prefix or a suffix. In here, I gave an example of a prefix color underscore. So let's say you have a Shopify site with tags that define the colors, color underscore red, colors underscore blue, and so on, or suffix. It can be suffix as well. Here, when I set this up and I apply it, I will make sure by doing that that every product that exists in the upsell widgets is going to be with a different color. Color is just an example. It can be any attribute that you have on your site. It can be fabric type. It can be a brand name, any options based on your industry that you want to choose and you think an example, you can do it as well. And then you can just create this experience, um, which is a nice thing if you want to see like a variety of items. Manual curation. I talked about it before, so in case you don't want to use our sources, to pick up the product from certain category or from based on a certain AI, visually look alike or things like that. You want to set the rules yourself. You want to manually choose what are the product that you want to display. We have the option of manual curation. You basically create the sets in the first step. You create those sets, you can create as many sets as you want. And then when you choose the source, you can choose which manual curation set you want it to be associated with. And this way you can have more than one set associated to a widget. Okay, so you can create a set to be relevant for shoes, and you can have a different set that's relevant for pens, and so on and so on and so on. And you can create those sets and assign them to widgets.
Yeah, and this is just great for you folks that maybe like to get in and manually curate that customer experience and make it look exactly the way that you would like. Like if you want to curate a specific look for a scarf and you want specific, skirt or shirt to go with that, this is really great. If you're not comfortable kind of letting our AI algorithm go in and match automatically to those sources.
Exactly. All right, moving on. Under configuration, I mentioned before the option that we can exclude certain items. Sorry, we have a question. Great question. Great question. Once you install the widgets on the actual site, so we have a question. If we are making changes in the dashboard, do we need to update the scripts? No. The answer is no. So once you install the script in Shopify and you have a widget ID, everything that you do on the dashboard, it's going to affect the site. You don't need to install it again. You don't need to update the script. You leave the script as is, and all the changes are going to be effective also for WooCommerce. For WooCommerce as well. I will get to that in a minute, but yes. So excluding products. So excluding products is available under the configuration set. We have a couple of options here. One, exclude all the out of stock products. You don't want to see out of stock product, you just exclude them. And second, if you want to exclude specific items, you can just type here the title of the product or even the product ID, and you will see the product, you select it, and those products are not going to be offered under the recommendation widgets. Now, this is a broad, and this is like for the entire, for all the widgets that you have on the site. If you want to do something specifically for specific widgets, there is a section for merchandising, and I'm going to get to that in a few slides. This is for the entire site. So for the entire site, I want to exclude out of stock product from all the upsell widgets, and I want to exclude certain product from all upsell widgets. This is where I do it. And great example that I keep seeing again and again and again are gift cards. We have a lot of sites that have gift cards. They don't want to display them as recommended products. So this is the way to just hide all the gift cards from the site if you have them. Okay. Installation. So let's talk about installation for a minute. So sorry, previously. So once you select and choose everything, the title, the sources, choose the style and everything, you go to the install and you click on the install. Here, this is the difference between Shopify and other site and WooCommerce or BigCommerce or Magento. Shopify, you have a widget ID. You get that widget ID and you have a place in Shopify to place that widget ID specifically into a section that is called Upsell and Cross-sell widget section. You place that widget ID and that's it. From that point forward, you have a section in Shopify and you can place it inside the store and make all the changes that you want on a dashboard. Doesn't matter as long as you have that section with that widget ID, that's it. It stays, and this is the way to install it on a Shopify. One
Christine, you had a
second, I have a
question?
question here. Can we exclude product with a specific Shopify tag? For example, we sell first. Yes, so I will show you in a minute under the merchandising section how we can exclude certain product with Shopify tag. Yes. For BigCommerce, Magento, or WooCommerce, we we take a copy of the snippet. Here we take a copy and we place it anywhere we want. If it's a WooCommerce, again, or a BigCommerce or Magento, we need access. If you want us to assist you, you give us access and we will show you how to place those widgets. If you have the knowledge and you have the technical staff in your team to help you do that, just copy this widget and paste it anywhere you want on the site, and the widget will show up. Okay. This is like a screen of summary of everything that you have installed. The green icon here shows you that the widget is actually installed. You can see the sources. The first one is the primary, and the others are the secondary. And you see the clicks and the views actually within the last 24 hours. So this is a snapshot taken from a site, and you can see that the mini cart widget was viewed 70,000 times and so on and so on and so on in a week. So it gives you like an idea of how many exposure these widgets gets on the site. And we have other reports and analytics data that I will share with you in a minute. Let's talk. Just give me a second. I don't see the slides for a, merchandising, so just give me a second. I will fix that. Second. Okay, let's look at this example, and I will talk about um, merchandising. So every widget has a section below the sources to use merchandising. So I can create merchandising rules to hide products, and this is referring to the question that I got before. I have an option to choose to create the merchandising rules to hide certain products. So, for example, here, if you look at line number one here, I choose to hide product that contain the tag final sale. So this will give me an ability, this way gives me an ability to create rules that affect a single specific widget. It's not across all widgets, it's just one rule that I can create that affect a single widget. I have an option to create rules that are going to affect the entire all widgets at the same time, but here in the widget settings, I can create rules that affect that specific widget. Another example here is determine what I display based on in showing product based on what I'm seeing here. So here in this example, I am telling in rule number two, I'm telling the widgets, if I'm looking right now on a product that contain a tag male, display only items that contain a tag male. If I'm only showing product that, if I'm looking at product with the tag female, display only product that contain the tag female. Female. This will give me an ability to control the content of the widget and display only product that have similarity in the gender. This is the way to do it. Here in rule number one, I decide not to display product on sale. And I know that this on Shopify site, this site doesn't have a tag final sale that marked all the products that are currently on sale. So Christina, I hope this gives you the answer to the fact that we have an ability to hide, to exclude product with a specific Shopify tag. All right, let's go back and talk about some examples. This was example number one. We have another example that I wanna cover with you, which is this one. Here, this is a widget for a mini cart. So you can see the style is mini cart. We have purchase, related cart, related recently viewed as the sources. And here we have a rule. You can see it, a very big rule here. What it means is we have an ability here to create a rule that's going to say, I want to display products from a certain collection if I'm looking right now on a product from a certain collection, meaning that if I'm looking right now on the collection boxes, I want to offer product from the collection boxes. I don't want to display something from a different collection. So this is another option to create a merchandising rules to determine the content to be based on a specific collection only. A great example could be new arrivals. So I can create a rule that's going to say, if I am currently looking at product from the collection new arrival, suggest only products that are coming from the collection new arrival. I don't want to see something coming from a different place. So I have the ability to create a merchandising rules to determine that the product are going to come from a specific collection only. Okay, I wanted to show you something else, and for that, I will open the dashboard. I want to show you something that relates to the configure to merchandising. So remember what I told you before, we have a widget, and every widget have a section for merchandising, as I've just shown you on the slides. But I can go into the merchandising section in the top screen, and the rules that I'm going to create here are going to affect all the upsell widgets that I have on my website. So if I want to create something and I want this to be for all widgets, I do it from here. So I can say, for example, I can just like what I've said before, I'm going to say if the product that I'm looking at is coming from the collection new arrival, only show me product that are coming from the collection new arrival, for example. Or maybe I want to say, don't show me product that are coming from, I don't know, maybe something else. And so on and so on and so on. Those rules are going to affect all widgets. Another example can be attribute is a, I don't know. Let's choose something. A, what we have here, color family. Blue, if I'm looking at a product that is blue, don't show me, hide, don't show me product with that same color. Color family is blue. I want the widgets to offer different colors if I'm looking at blue. So this is a very, very easy, I hope, way to control the content of the widgets. So either you do it one time for all widgets or you do it individually for each and individual widgets. All right. Any questions or comments? Now, what I will do, I want to show an example on how to install those widgets in Fast Simon. And for that, I will share my screen again with Shopify, and I will give you an example on how to do it with Shopify. So I will go to a test site that I have, and I will open this website and create a widget really, really fast. I am creating a widget. I already have one. It does test. This is the title. And I have these widgets, sources. I save it. And now I click on the install. The next item is click on the install. Now I give it a widget ID. So let's leave it open. I will copy the widget ID. In order to install something on the website, what I will need to do, and I'm in Shopify, I'm going to add a theme. I'm choosing the location that I want to see this widget on. So let's say that I want to place it on the home page. I will add a section, and this is Shopify 2.0. So I don't have any blocks. So actually, this is a good thing. I can show you how we can do it on BigCommerce and Magento, any other subject, and then I can show you how I can do it in Shopify 2.0, which is the newer version in Shopify. So I have two options to install, either manual setup, which is what I'm going to do right now, and then I will find a site and do this setup. So I will copy the widgets. I have a button to copy. I copy the widgets. I go in Shopify, and here I need to add a section with that widgets. How do I do that? let's find a way to include a widget. I will go to the actual Shopify theme and place that widget in on the website. Again, this is a more technical side, just to understand how to install it. So I copy the widget and I place it inside theme.liquid. Let's put it at the bottom. I have a script here, save it. And now when I'm going to view the site, I'm going to have a widget at the bottom. Here it is. It took me like 1 second to do it. You saw how quickly that was. Let's find another example again with Shopify 2.0. 1 second. Ricardo, do you have a site, a test site that I can use?
I have the typical one that we usually use, but I don't have another one right at this time.
Okay. Mm, okay, let's use this one. 1 second. Okay. So another example, which is the automatic way with Shopify 2.0, when I have just a widget ID. I will go here. I will go to Edit Theme. And here I will add a section. And under Apps, now I will see Fast Simon sections. I choose Upsell and Cross-sell. And I have a widget ID number to place. So I just copy and paste it. Oh, sorry. I'm going to go back to the dashboard. I'm going to take this widget ID. This one, copy it, go back to there. I'm placing the widget ID and I save it. 1 second, save. And now, again, I have the widget ID that I created, and it's placed right now at the bottom of the site, at the bottom of the homepage. I can just drag and drop it and place it anywhere I want. I drag it and paste it. Now I took a widget from a different site, so of course it's not working. Let's do it again. This is the site that I'm working on, so I'm going to use the same thing. Fonts USA, upsell widgets. Create a new one, new arrivals. Save. Install. This is the new widget ID that I have right now. Again, I'm going to Shopify and let's put a real widget ID now that exists on the actual site. Give it a second, save it. And now it's going to show me products that are new arrivals. Newly arrived items. Here it is. Okay, so now I created a widget. I can go out and I can display it on the actual site. I can check, I can see the site and I will see this widget on the actual site. It's not this one. Here it is. Newly arrived items. Now, design changes, modification that I want to do to that widget. We spoke about it. I just told you about it, but we didn't have a chance to look at it. We have the widget no code editor for the styling of the widgets. So when I click on this button, I have an option to style the widgets. This requires some CSS understanding and how to play with the design of the widgets. If you have technical resources that can assist you with that, fine. If you're not, you can always approach our support and they will help you do that. A couple of examples here. I can choose the number of items that I want to display. And I also have the option to display how many product I want to swipe when I'm clicking on the arrow. So it can be just one item like that. It can be two product every time I swiped, or it will be like two product and so on. And I have also an option here to control how it looks on mobile. So for example, on mobile, maybe I want to see only two items, and on a tablet, maybe I want to see three items, and so on and so on. So here I have the ability to control the content and what I see, um, title, size and color and title of the products, style and color and so on, things like that. Once I done what I've done, the changes, and I click publish, within a couple of seconds, those things are going to appear on the actual site. I don't need to reinstall. I don't need to do anything in Shopify. After I install it one time on BigCommerce as well, I place the widget on the page. I don't need to do anything else. I just make all the changes on the dashboard, and that is it. I can change the sources. I can do anything I want here. Now, for example, the product are taken from the collection new arrival, but I can choose to take the product from bestsellers, for example. Save it. And now, if I'm going to refresh, I will see different results because the product are now coming from bestsellers, and now I chose to see 6 products in a row and not 4. So all these changes are available on our dashboard and are very, very easy to manage and make changes. So now I've refreshed and I'm going to go down, and you can see now I have 6 products in a row. I didn't do anything in Shopify. Everything I did in our dashboard. Now, let's say that I don't like the placement of that widget. So again, if I go to edit the theme, same thing. I go to this widgets ID. I can take that widget and place it again anywhere I want on the site. I can go to the cart page, and place it in the cart page. Add a section, app, same thing. Upsell widgets and get the widget ID. I think I can create a new one. I can use the same one. And again, I create and place it here. Take it and change the location of it. Okay, it's very, very, very simple. Couple of things that I want to mention that are very important to know. Some of the things that are not mentioned on the dashboard or things like that, something very important to understand. That these are things that happens behind the scene, but it's very important to understand them. So something number one. So if I have couple of widgets on the same page. Let's say that I decided on the home page, on the product page, sorry, to have a couple of widgets, not just one widget, maybe 2 or 3 widgets. Fast Simon have an algorithm built in within our mechanism to avoid showing the same products more than one time. So if you have 3 widgets, and theoretically, those 3 widgets need to recommend a certain items, only one widget is going to show this item. The other 2 are going to see are going to propose something else. We're not going to have a situation when all the widgets are showing the same items. This is item number one, which is very important to understand. Okay, so it's not mentioned anywhere. It's just the way our algorithm works in order to prevent situation when we offer the same products couple of times on the same page. Second thing to keep in mind, if you add an item to the cart, let's say that now on this widget that I just created, I want to change the style, save it, and I'm going to change the style and I'm going to add a button, an add to cart button. Let's add an add to cart button. Now I have an add to cart button, publish it. Okay, so something else. When I add an item to the cart, the item that I just added to the cart will not show up on the widgets. So I decided to update to enable and add a product to the cart. It will not show up when I refresh. If this product exists on the cart, we are not going to offer it again. We are going to replace it with something else. Also, something to keep in mind. I got a lot of questions about that and requests from customers that it doesn't make a lot of sense to offer something that you already added to the cart. So this is also something to keep in mind. These are things that are happening behind the scene and are just not written anywhere. So this is something to understand. All right. Something else that is not written and it wasn't mentioned in my slides regarding the sources. We have a source called similar product by attributes. So remember when I spoke about product variety and I spoke about the fact that we can provide a variety of items based on a color or based on anything we want. We have the opposite. We actually have the option to do the opposite, exactly the opposite, and that is using the source similar or a product by attributes. With that source, if I click on settings for that specific source, I can tell the widget take offer in the recommendation product in that widget item that contains the same color. So it's basically the opposite. So now when I'm going to place this widget on a product that contains the color red, we are going always to offer the same color red on the product that I recommend. Okay, so I use color, but it can be anything else. Everything that you wanna use. It can be, again, it can be any attribute that you have on the site. Here they have a lot of things, the pattern, shape, thickness, whatever. So this is a way to provide similarity of items within a widget. Now it can have more than one. It can have a color and material, for example. So I don't want just to be the same color. I also want it to be the same material. Okay, and so on and so on and so on. I can add as many groups as I want and save it. And now I have similarity by attributes and material. All right. Last thing that I want to talk about, and we are going to end our session, is the analytics. So unfortunately, I cannot show you information about from a real site, obviously, but just be aware that we have an option to under the analytics. So if I go to the analytics, I go to upsell and cross-sell widgets, and I go to widgets, I here have the option to show each and every individual widgets how they are doing on the website in regards to CVR, conversion, purchases, revenues, CTR, and so on and so on. And I can choose the time to show it. It can be the last 90 days, 30 days, and so on. I can custom pick the start and end date, and I can see the data divided into every specific widget and see how it does. All right. Just on time. Yes, the webinar is currently recorded. We are going to publish it. It's going also to be included on this dashboard. We have an app option to see the help center. This is like a user guide, and the upsell with the webinar that I just did is going to be here instead of this video. We are going to put it here so you can access it and anytime you want. All right. Any more questions? Anything you want to know just before we end the session?
Yeah, I do want to just mention that within one of those sources in the upsell and cross-sell widgets, category products, I've had a couple of questions, people asking me when they wanted to display specific products. So similar to a couple of the examples that Ito showed here, you can actually click on that source settings right there, and you can choose specific items to show up on there as well. So if you would like to again get more into the manual curation of the widgets, you can go in there and have specific products being displayed.
Yes, so I didn't I saw it I displayed it on the slides, but here I can show you an example. So here, when I go to manual curation, thank you, Ricardo, for that. So when I go to manual curation, in order for me to set up the manual curation, I want to show you how to do it. So I want to create the first manual curation. I add a new merchandising rule. So I'm going to say here, when I am looking at, and this is just an example, right? So when I'm looking at this product, I want to offer I want to offer these items, this one and this one. So I create some kind of a matrix, save, and now I have a rule. So when I'm viewing this item, these are the items that are going to show up in the upsell widgets. Now I have an option to create a CSV and import that CSV, or I can export what I have and import it on a different site. So a lot of the times when we onboard a site, we first work on a development environment. We create everything on the development environment. Then we can export it and import it into a different site. So that's also availability, an option. Now I can name it, say site one, set one, for example, and that's it. If I want to if I want to import from sorry, where am I? If I want to import something for the manual curation, I want to create the import option. I can do it as well. I give it a name again, set to, and I'm going to upload. I have an option here to download. When I click on that, I have an option to download, to upload a file. The file is a template that you can download from here as well if you want. When I hover, there is a download template option. I can download the template and I can just see how the template looks. It's basically a list of product IDs. Very simple. You create a list of product IDs. Let's see how this template looks. Show you. So it's basically looking like this. What is the product that I'm looking at? and what are the recommendation product that I want to display. And each number here represent the product ID in Shopify. So now I can create a list here of product that I want to see and what are the product that I want to recommend. I create the CSV file, I save it, and then I go here and I upload it, and that's it. You have a set. Now we are done. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been great. We will publish the recorded here. And as I mentioned, it's going to be part of the user guide. Thank you so much. And good luck. Have a great day. Bye bye.